You don't have to be perfect to be vegan.
You don't?
Hey, what's up? It's Vince Leah from VinceLeah.com, and I'm hanging out with my friend Elana today.
Hi.
And thanks for joining me here again today. And if you're new here to the channel, I do a lot of videos around plant-based nutrition, including recipes, taste tests, healthy hacks, and more. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss a thing. So we were actually having a conversation recently that I thought would be important to share with you about being the perfect vegan and being vegan enough, and seeing people just attack each other in comments or really discourage other people from going vegan.
Yep, I see that a lot.
Yeah, and we're seeing people just, if they make a mistake and if they're not perfect, people being criticized. And it's just really creating a bad environment, and it's really just creating a bad name, and it really, I think, dissuades, or I think it really prevents people from even wanting to become vegan.
That's what I see. I see that we are supposed to be one of the most, or the most compassionate communities out there. And I'm seeing so much vegan on vegan, or you're not vegan enough. Hate, I mean, I don't know if hate's too strong of a word, not strong enough, but I think it's an important conversation to have. And there is, in my opinion, no such thing as the perfect vegan. There's no such thing as a perfect human person specimen. So why do we have to have this such a high level to be this perfect vegan? And like you said, it dissuades people. It's not a conversation. The word vegan, people are not even going towards that word anymore. They're going towards plant-based, you know, or finding some other alternate word because saying vegan has such a bad connotation.
Plant-based.
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 Exactly. So I think it's a big conversation, and I think it's one that really needs to be had.
Yeah, and we see a lot of people when they make a mistake and then they're afraid to say that they're vegan, or they're afraid to make some sort of commitment to it because they're going to make that mistake, and then they're going to get criticized in social media, in comments, by friends, by the community. If they have something that has honey in it, they'll be like, oh my God, you're not vegan anymore. It's like, okay, so you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to become vegan. Like, I don't understand why that desire to be perfect has to be there. And I think, whether you're doing it for health, or whether you're doing it for animal rights, or whether you're doing it for the environment, there's a lot of various benefits to going vegan. I initially did it for health, and that led to me understanding all the other issues and all the other benefits that go along with it. And people criticize others, they're like, oh, if you're vegan for health, you're just plant-based, you don't care about animals. It's like, well, what if that person that's even eating a steak right now they're not making the connection. Right. And I had steak at one time in my life. Sure. Most of us had steak. Most of us ate animal products. So to criticize somebody for doing something that you once did, right, is really just not setting a good precedence for where we want to go.
No, it's not. And I think the majority of us have been in the boat where we had our light bulb go off at different moments, and we know what it's like to not have that light bulb go off. So why don't we put ourselves in those shoes? And by criticizing, if someone came to me, and I remember people did come to me before, and when I wasn't vegan, and if you're wagging your finger at me, or if you're telling me that one meal that is not enough, that's not gonna help. That's not gonna make me want to join a community where there's hate kind of being spilled around. Last year I actually kind of got really upset, and I posted about shaming. So last year I saw someone actually post about someone who has a vegan restaurant, but they themselves isn't vegan, and they call them out on social media. And at a restaurant, nonetheless, they took a picture, posted it, and then called them out on social media saying, oh my God, can you believe they're not eating a vegan meal? One, that person does a lot for the community. Vegan or not vegan, they have a vegan restaurant. Why does it matter? That's not your business. Focus on yourself, and focus on causing a positive ripple effect. By calling someone out, shaming them, that's not something positive. That's causing aggression. And that's causing vegan on vegan hate, and vegan on non-vegan hate. Whatever it is, it's not a positive message, and it just shows shaming.
And I think when people who aren't vegan see that going on in the community,
they're scared.
Why would they want to say that they're vegan or become part of a community that acts like that.
Exactly. I myself, when I saw that, I wrote a post about the shaming, and I not only wrote about it, I walked away for a minute because I thought this is not a community I want to be a part of anymore.
Yeah.
It actually got me to a point that I threw my hands up. And I think for a community that is really based on compassion, we are not showing enough of it to our fellow vegans or people who are looking to become vegan or are curious, or even if you have one meal and you're saying you're so happy that you've got that one meal that's vegan on a Monday because you got a meatless Monday because of the movement, that's positive.
That's kudos. It's like, that's great.
And that means that you're helping a community and a movement, whether it be diet, whether it be for the animals. I think that that's a conscious effort, and I don't want to discount people for making that little effort. I really, really don't.
Yeah, and I've seen people post something for Meatless Monday when they weren't vegan.
Yeah.
And then you'll see people in the comment section, I'll see it on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and they'll be like, yeah, but what did you have tomorrow? Or what are you having the next day?
Shouldn't matter.
Rather than rewarding them or motivating them for doing a positive thing, they're criticizing them for not doing it all the time. And that's not, going vegan is a very personal decision.
It is.
And like, I take people out and I do taste test videos with people that aren't vegan. We try food. I'll link a bunch of those below, but I don't ever push somebody to go vegan. But it's surprising how many times people have come to me afterwards and they'll be like, hey man, I tried a vegan meal when I was out and it was really good. Thanks for, turning me on to some of this stuff. So they're learning, they're making progress.
Exactly. I mean, that's, to me, the most important thing. When I get those messages, when I take someone to a restaurant and they decide to actively choose a vegan option on the menu and they're not vegan because they want to try it and they love vegan food, fantastic. I've been in, majority of my relationships have been with non-vegans, but they've been very respectful of me being vegan, and I think that's the most important thing. So if they're choosing to eat meat, and a lot of people, I get it, it's not for everybody to be in a vegan, non-vegan relationship. I'm celebrating what I can bring to the table, and I've seen some positive effects from me being in the relationship with people who aren't vegan. I've seen them actually choosing better options than I do sometimes.
Yeah, because isn't all vegan food healthy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give me those fries. But I mean, you lead by example, and so I think it's the balance and it's the mindset, it's the compassion, it is the community, it is promoting a better message. Shaming is not. I mean, when has shaming ever done something positive?
Yeah, and you'll see the vegan police come out in full force a lot of times. And when you think about it, when you sleep at night, you may have eaten a bug. When you're driving down the street, most likely a bug hit your windshield.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you draw the line to become perfect and not causing harm to any living thing?
If you live in the sky and there's nothing you can lay on, sit on, or by accidentally eat, you may be the perfect vegan.
How you doing there, buddy?
If you live on cloud 9, no, there's no such thing as a perfect vegan. There's no such thing as a perfect person. So why do we hold ourselves up to this standard, and why do we hold others up to this standard? It's not fair. Yeah. And I think that this is a big conversation. People are shying away, actively shying away from being part of the community. I've had this conversation more than I can count in the past year and a half, 2 years at least. And I myself have questioned it, you know?
There's a taste test video I did. I took my friend Christian Pierce out to try a vegan pulled pork, a vegan Big Mac, and I'm gonna play a clip real quick where he talks about his experience eating food with me compared to eating vegan food sometimes with other people. So here's that clip real quick.
Yeah. Even the cheese is like better than a Big Mac. Yeah, this is a winner. The problem with the vegan connotation is that when you hear vegan, personally, I'm thinking like, oh, someone who's just like won't shut up about being vegan. It's not so much the food as it is the people usually. And this is a great example of what happens when you put the vegans over there but put the food right here. You realize the food tastes great, and there's no one talking to you about converting. You know what I mean? This is delicious though. All right, you got me hooked.
So what are your thoughts on seeing his reaction of enjoying the meal because I wasn't trying to convert him at the same time?
So this is what I have to say. I remember when I first went vegan, you know, I always say that your pendulum swings when you're vegan. You kind of come off as the vegan police in the beginning, and your eyes are open, you're a newly fresh vegan. The world is yours to command and control. And so you tell everybody what they're doing is wrong, and you sneak those facts in there when they're about to eat something, which is awful. And you think that that's going to change them, and that didn't work well for me. I don't know if it worked well for you.
No, and I get it because you're excited, you're learning, you're doing research, but going after somebody for doing something that 99% of the world does is not going to help make your point.
And that's what we did. What I actively did for my first, I'm not going to say how many years, but, you know, I was brought up in a very, like, traditional meat-eating family. So those were the ways I knew. That was a tradition in a sense. So, you know, until your own personal light bulb goes off, you do the ripple effect. So what I was saying is, like, the pendulum is going to swing. So my pendulum, you know, swung all the way that way, and then it went all the way up to, like last year with the shaming, went all the way, like, bleep this and this, you know, that whole thing. But then I'm kind of come back into the middle again. And what I say is, when I see a video, that clip that you just showed, that is, to me, a great way to approach it, because you're gonna win more. What is you win more with honey kind of saying? Oh, you get more. Right, you attract them with something honey and the thingy and the honey. Ugh. Anyways, it's that thing where, you know, if you are able to come at it as you're just having a meal with someone, you know, and you're just having, and then they ask you questions, great, by all means, you can interject with some things here and there, cautiously. But shaming while eating or talking about, and God, I feel bad for the time I did this, but.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh,
we got the good stuff now, we got the good stuff.
Know, I remember when I was like in my newly-ish vegan, what is it? The adolescence of my newly veganness, and I was at a table at a restaurant with about like 5 vegans, and you know, it's in that beginning of when you're starting to become a part of the community, so you're having your conversations literally all about veganism. You can't even talk about a movie, or you can't talk about, you know, what'd you do during the day other than talking about something vegan you did.
Yeah.
So
that
was in that beginning time where I was having this conversation, and I had at the time my boyfriend, and he was not vegan, and he was sitting with us, and we just talked all about veganism, the animals, the disturbing statistics we had, while he's sitting there, and he has nothing to say because he's just like, what can I add to this? And he's sitting there, and I didn't even think about how he was feeling enough, because I was trying to relate and have this moment with other people, that it didn't help. It wasn't a helpful conversation enough to even bring him into the fold, even, you know, lighten it up a little bit, talk about the food, the delicious food we were about to eat. No, we talked about the stuff you guys or may not or may know, and, you know, slaughterhouses, yada yada. So I look back on that time, and it actually was a real big lesson for me in how to have a conversation when you're with other vegans, and you've got that one non-vegan, you know how to talk. Who knows, you may have that light bulb wake up for that one person. Or they may leave saying, screw this.
I'm never doing that, man. This is like a cult.
Yeah, exactly. This is called, that's all they talk about. They don't even know how to have a real conversation, you know, and is this what we do every time we eat food? You know, breaking bread and then talk about veganism, you know. There's a time and a place for everything, and you can have those conversations. Just know your audience, really.
You know what's interesting too is that when you talk about friends, and I think it's kind of unique. I don't know, maybe it's unique to me, but it's not. But I have a lot of friends who aren't vegan.
I have a lot of friends who are not vegan.
A lot of people who are vegan tell me, where do you keep finding all these people to put on your videos? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I meet somebody and they're not vegan and I just want to expose them to this, but they're like, yeah, but all my friends are already vegan. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, but I have a lot of friends that aren't vegan. I think sometimes we could just surround ourselves, and I think this happens with not just veganism, I think anything. We surround ourselves with whatever our interests are, that we fail to look at everything else outside of that bubble. Whether it's being vegan, whether it's something that you do, I think it's always important to go outside of there and explore and to get other opinions about stuff.
I agree. I know that when I'm traveling, in my mind, I think that everybody knows what I know still. And I'm still learning, but I guess I may be ahead of the curve in certain regards when it comes to veganism. I will say when I do travel, it's impressive these days. You know, the vegan options, the conversations that I'm having. But yeah, you still have to understand that there are these bubbles that we do create for ourselves, and there's a world outside our bubble. So shaming the world outside of our bubble is not helping those people want to become part of the community.
Yeah, and I think putting, like you said earlier, putting yourself in their shoes and understanding where they are, it really goes a long way. And just educating somebody with compassion and knowing when to do it and doing it in a way that makes them feel comfortable and makes them understand some of the decisions they make and the impact that they can make, but doing it in a very positive and a constructive way, without shaming, without demeaning, without making them feel bad, I think is really important.
I know that I hold a yearly Oscar party, and I'm the only vegan. I mean, it's my girlfriend's, you know, and so I make, you know, a turkey chili, and I use either Beyond Meat or Upton's in the beginning or field roast, yada yada. They love it. They ask for it every year. They're not vegan. You know, always having these options really helps me, and when I travel with them, I'm the only vegan. So it's also just opening their eyes.
But isn't it kind of fun, though?
That's what I was going to get to.
That's like my favorite part.
There's a part where I thought in the beginning it was tougher. And then I started to actually really enjoy being able to show them, like, hey guys, you gotta know that that's vegan,
that's made out of cashews, that cheese.
Yeah, and then my sister loves vegan cheese. You know, she's not vegan. She loves the options I bring when she comes over. You know, and I tend to try and, again, leading by example and not shoving down their throats all the time the facts and statistics. But when they ask or when I have something going on, I will try and I will show them in a very helpful way. Versus when in the beginning when I sent them all emails. Oh yes, I did the mass emails of vegan facts. I did, and then I think they all blocked me. So, you know, you learn, you live, you learn.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned cheese too, because, you know, a lot of people are just lactose intolerant and they're always looking for different cheeses that they can now have that they weren't trying before. And that's like one thing that they're like, oh wait, no, I can have cheese, but this is vegan cheese. And they're like, well, this vegan cheese is pretty good. Well, what else do you have that's pretty good in this whole vegan thing? So there's always different avenues, and it's interesting.
It's your gateway drug.
Yeah, exactly. Well, cheese is a gateway drug.
Exactly.
And
I mean, technically, what it does in the brain is actually simulates. Okay, I can go on.
Well, you mentioned traveling, and I had an awesome experience last year where we had so many people. We had friends and family over. Nobody was vegan, and we probably had it was over 30 to 40 people, and everybody came to the house knowing that it was all gonna be vegan, and like you could tell, like they were like, what are we gonna be eating? Where there's no turkey, where there's no stuffing.
Traditions.
And everything was gone, and like everybody like had such a great time. We're asking for, like, how did you make this? What's in here? This tastes so good. Like, no leftovers for a Thanksgiving dinner.
That's phenomenal.
Where people were texting us, like, asking us, where was that cheese from? I want to go buy some more of that cheese because it was really good. And there's a lot of information about dairy. People are trying to eat less and less dairy.
Yeah.
So if they could have a cheese that doesn't have dairy in it and feel better about themselves and actually feel better, you know, they want to make those options. So it was really cool. Just it exposed such a large group of people like that, and have an awesome like holiday. It's a Thanksgiving. Like that's like if there's one holiday surrounded by food,
That's fantastic.
it's Thanksgiving, and to come away with everybody having such a positive experience. Like we had Miyoko's cheese, we had cakes from Yvonne. Like it was just like everything that I knew that was gonna be really good. We made some recipes from Spork Foods, and it was an awesome experience to be able to share that.
I'm gonna tag along on this one. So last year for my Thanksgiving, I went to my cousin's, and we've never gone down there. This was the first time we all got together, and only vegan. And I did not expect for her. I brought something for me to eat.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want her to put herself out. I didn't expect anything. But when I got there, she's like, hey, so she's like, this whole section's for you. And I go, what do you mean this whole section's for me? She went to Whole Foods. She asked them what was vegan Thanksgiving wise, and she got me like the field roast. Was it field roast or tofurkey? I can't remember
Oh, like the apple sage.
that thing, right?
It's a field roast. Makes a really
And
good
they put
sausage.
the gravy on top of it,
Oh.
and the mashed potatoes. She had all these things for me.
Wow, she made the effort.
She made the effort, and I did not expect her. I didn't want to put her out, but it wasn't putting her out for her. She said,
Yeah.
you know, she was happy to do it. So the thing is like, I didn't go at her and say like, you need to do this. You need to
Yeah.
provide this for me. For the past 5 years, I've been bringing my own stuff to places. Whenever certain places I travel, I'll bring it. For Thanksgiving, I didn't expect her to put it out. I was gonna bring stuff. I didn't want to make it about me. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that even if by you trying to not make it about you, it ends up kind of making it about you.
Yeah, all that attention is like, oh, she's eating that weird food over there.
Right. Oh God! One year I was really trying. I brought a bar with me and put it on my plate. Yeah, I did that. And they were like, "You don't even want that lettuce?" I'm like, "Nope. I'm having the bar. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm taking a stand." In the end of the day, what did that prove?
You probably were really hungry afterwards.
Yeah, that's what it proved. It proved, wow, she's sticking to her ways in a way I'm never gonna do.
I'm never gonna be that extreme.
Right, that's what veganism is, eating a bar. No, you see, by proving your point of like standing firm sometimes, you're just showing they don't want to beef you. They don't want to even try what you're doing.
Well, the best part is I'll go somewhere and they'll be like, well, we'll have to go out to eat because I don't have any food you could eat here. I'm like, do you have any fruit? Yeah. Do you have some salad? Yeah. Do you have some nuts, almonds, cashews? We could do something. Well, yeah, but you're vegan.
Cheap.
Yeah. Okay, let's do something at home, and then just kind of throw stuff together, and people are surprised that they're probably eating vegan sometimes with the salad. They don't even realize they are.
That term just has some harsh criticism to it. So
Yeah.
it's dispelling that term. I think vegan is not a bad word, but we have to make people understand that it's not a bad word by the people who are promoting vegan in that way that it's coming off in the media, because those are the people that tend to get most attention, is the crazy vegans, sadly, are the ones that get the most media attention. And then we get the bad name, and then we look like we're crazy, and then nobody wants to be part of our community because we are the crazy vegans who go and blow stuff up. But you know, so if I'm gonna bring it all back in a sense right now, is that what's shaming gonna do for you and for the message that you're trying to spread, and the vegan on vegan hate, the vegan on non-vegan hate, the you're not vegan enough, the perfect vegan. There's no such thing.
Yeah, I think as long as we approach people with compassion and understanding, I think you'll really go a long way in impacting somebody's life, because you never know where they are on their journey.
That's
You know,
true.
they're not vegan now. They may be vegan in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But if you leave a positive imprint on them and they have a good experience, they're more likely to think about that in the future.
Yeah, and they're more likely to want to spread that word, spread the compassion part. If they're not vegan, that's okay. They may actually still spout to someone else the positive vegan cheese they had, or the positive effects someone talked to them about, or Maybe they decided to go dairy-free. Maybe they decided to just cut out chicken. Whatever it is, it's an effect, and it's something.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to join me today and talk about this topic that's really important that I think we needed to share.
I think so too.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comments what you think about the subject. What are your thoughts? If you want to see more of these videos, maybe we could even do a live stream.
Maybe we can.
Maybe we do a live stream where you could actually ask us more questions that you have about going out with somebody who isn't vegan.
Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty good at that. Yeah. So maybe we could have that conversation, guys.
So let us know in the comments if you want to see more. And as always, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel as I post new videos every week. And join the Fit From Food notification squad by ringing that bell next to the subscribe button. And remember to keep living Fit From Food. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.